Hey guys, Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Welcome to my kitchen once again. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon and I'm making, let me give you guys a peek of what I'm doing here. This is coconut sugar cake that I'm making. It's almost to the point where it's almost done here. Just gotta give it a couple more minutes and then spoon it onto a baking sheet or something for it to set. Thanks for your support, guys. Remember, before we get going, above me, click on subscribe. That's where you're going to get all the latest videos sent directly to you. Below is where you're going to leave me your comments. And do remember to give the video a thumbs up or like it. It's the only way this video is going to go viral, people. I appreciate when you guys do that. So today we're making coconut sugar cake. It's very sweet because we're using a lot of sugar in this. However, the flavors from the coconut, from the bay leaf, from the ginger, from the mixed essence, all ingredients I'm sure you have in your kitchen is going to make this an amazing treat for yourself and the kids. Here we go, guys. Coconut sugar cake. One more shot at it. So let's quickly run through the ingredients here for making this coconut sugar cake. In this bowl here, I've got a couple cups of sugar. Here I've got a nice piece of ginger. We're going to use a nice thick piece, maybe about quarter of an inch thick for flavoring it. I've got here a couple bay leaves. Something that's totally optional, some red food coloring. Probably a couple drops of this I'm going to need. It is optional. You can do this without the food coloring. You're just going to have white sugar cakes. But again, it is something I like using, a little bit of color to this if you want to make it festive. Obviously, you can use different colors as you see fit. Something, again, totally optional. I've got some mixed essence here. And all it is, it's a sort of a flavoring you get down in the Caribbean. Totally optional. We're going to need maybe a quarter teaspoon of that. And here I've got 2 cups of desiccated, unsweetened coconut. Lovely, nice and dry, and ready to go. And finally, in this cup on the far side here, this measuring cup, I've got 1.5 cups of water, and we're going to use that water to make the syrup for the sugar cake. And the reason why I'm using so much water is because I really want to boil the syrup with the bay leaf as well as the ginger for a bit to release those flavors so I can extract those 2 things before we actually add the coconut to it. So here goes, guys, coconut sugar cakes. So I have a fairly deep saucepan here on a medium-high heat, and all I'm going to do, the first thing we're going to do is create the syrup for making this sugar cake. So all we're going to do is dump in that sugar in there, a nice thick slice of ginger. As you can see, it smells absolutely lovely. I just love the smell of ginger. And by the way, if ever you're going on a cruise and you know you get motion sickness, take some ginger or buy some ginger pills. It works great for motion sickness. And a couple cloves of, the couple bay leaves. Now I'm going to add the 1.5 cups of water to that. And I'm going to start stirring this. What we want to do, we want that sugar to melt, and we want to create a nice thick syrup. It took about 3 to 4 minutes for it to come up to a boil like this. As you can see, there's big bubbles happening here. We've got the bay leaf, the ginger is just below that. We're just trying to get all those flavors out of the ginger and the bay leaf. Pretty soon we're going to take that out. But at this point, I'm going to hit it maybe about a quarter teaspoon of that mixed essence that I showed you guys earlier, just for a little extra kick of flavor. I'm going to keep stirring this until it's nice and thick. I'll let you guys know exactly how long it took as we go along. The sugar syrup here has been going now for about anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes on that rigorous boil that you're seeing. What I'm going to do now is remove the bay leaves. Some recipes may call for leaving the bay leaves in there, but first you may have had to crush it all up. But I like removing the bay leaf as well as the ginger. I'm going to remove that out of the pot now. And what we're going to do is add the dessicated coconut to the mixture. And start stirring that thing like crazy. We're going to bring this back up to a boil and allow it to simmer for a few minutes. It's starting to boil, it's starting to get thick now. So what I'm going to do is add a couple drops of the red food coloring to the mixture here. So it looks like as though I'm adding about 4 drops of that food coloring in here. And you really want to stir this to make sure that food coloring gets blended throughout the entire mixture as we cook it. It's been cooking now for about 5 to 7 minutes on that medium-high heat since we added the sugar, the coconut, the shredded, the dessicated coconut to this. So it's nice and thick now. It's to the point where there's hardly any liquid on the bottom there. So what we want to do, it's separating from the side quite nicely. So that's an indication. Once it starts giving way from the side of the pot like that, it means it's ready. So the next step is to actually prepare this for it to set. Now if you have a tray and you want to like set and spread it out maybe about 1 inch or 2 thick and then slice it into cubes, when it sets, that's going to be perfect. However, what we're going to do today is just spoon it, and what I have here is a parchment lined cookie sheet, and all I'm going to do is grab spoonfuls from there and place it onto this cookie sheet here. And all we're doing, by the way, I just turned the stove off if you're wondering, and I'm taking a nice big lump of it on there. There we go, another one. And because of the syrup and everything we made from the sugar was used in this, it's going to be nice and sticky and firm once it sets. I'm just going to go ahead, guys, and keep doing this to form nice sugar cakes. I've gone ahead now, guys, and I've poured them with the spoon, using the spoon here, and I've made some little piles, some little heaps all over this lined cookie sheet here, and I'm going to give this some time to set, to harden, to get nice and firm. The syrup that we made, that using the sugar, will allow it to happen. This thing is amazing. The smell in the house here, it is amazing. The mixed essence, the coconut, the ginger, the bay leaf, everything has infused and formed a wonderful, tasty treat here. The kids will love this, but remember, guys, there's a ton of sugar in here, so you may want to hold it back on the kids a few hours before bed at least, because you know they get that sugar rush. What happens? Coconut sugar cake here, guys. I hope you guys give it a try. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Thanks again for joining me in my kitchen. I just love having you guys over. Remember, click on subscribe above and leave me your comments below. Have a great evening, guys.